Well, hello, crafty friends. I'm Sherry, and I'd like to welcome you to my studio. It is a wintry day out there, so I am glad to be inside creating, and I'm glad to have your company while I do it. I had a magnificent experience yesterday when I went to a favorite store near me called Two Scrapbooking Friends. They were doing a first of what they're calling a mini class. And in a mini class, you go and they have got everything organized for you. The best part is getting together with a bunch of other people around the table and making the same thing. And I'm telling you, cute was in the house. We made this beautiful postage collage. And I am going to try to do one inspired by this today. And if you hurry, you can get over there as well because I know they still have some of the incredible tools from Waffle Flower to make this a cinch. There's a couple things I'd love to say, and one of them is if nobody's told you yet today, I'm going to give you permission to create. The reason that I am so passionate about creating is that it's really good for us. You see, building relationships is something that's a bit of a superpower for me. I've been a salesperson for more than 2 decades. And I know how to make communities grow and be successful. Well, the truth is that there's no point in having a successful community if you don't have vitality. And friends, I'm here to say that creating and creativity in general is a wonderful way to ensure that you are getting vitality because creativity is actually an essential form of self care. So, like I said, today I'm here to give you permission to create. So, shall we? One of my most beloved companies that I enjoy working with, Waffle Flower. I use their brushes. I've got their grip mat. I'll show you all those things. But this particular class that I did yesterday, and what I'm going to try and emulate in my own way today, was the postage collage die. So this die, and can I just show you for a second here? And I always like to say, nobody's sponsoring this. I bought this with my own dollars. I only tell you about things that I'm totally passionate about and love, and this is one of them. When Waffle Flower packages their dies, they actually package it on a magnet. So see, it's all loose here, and there we go. It's connected down. This is a wonderful way of packaging. And then I slip this inside a plastic envelope and keep that in my stash. I haven't even dug into all the new different things in this little guy. All I have done for the one that we're doing today is this exterior piece here. Look at how nice and big that is. So I've cut out the collage. Then what I'm going to do, and I've done a bunch of things ahead of time here so that I can help you experience what it was like to kind of go into this class and have it all organized for us. So matching the postage collage is a block stencil. So I'm going to show you how I use that today. And this, my friends, is a magic new tool to me. So it's from Pink Fresh Studios, and it is like a makeup brush, if you ask me. We are going to use it today to do the ink blending. We're going to follow sort of the inspiration that Carolyn and the team put together for us. And I'm going to show you how, with some few simple colors, I'm going to get incredible ink blending with this. And actually, friends, this felt a little taboo when I learned it, but we're going to use this brush for 3 colors and not in the same color family. It's all new. Okay, so we're going to be using that. Also in the set, and I just thought this was brilliant. I can't wait to show you how Carolyn did this. I will do this every time I use this set. So let me show you what Carolyn did. She took the stamps from the set. She put her card front down inside her Misty, which has the Waffle Flower grip mat inside here. When she put it down, she placed it in a very specific spot. Now she went one step further and was quite smart at doing this. She put some tape in the corners to mark where the spot was. But can you see the little stamps? There's here, here. They are now in position to stamp onto my postage collage die cut. And it's in the middle of my Misty because we're stamping off. We're not using the whole stamp. You'll see it comes out just in such a beautiful way. Let me get this just moved over a little bit. So I think I can get it all right. Yes. So that line's going to be my mark. Okay. And we actually used the same type of grip mat if we had it available to us, or a stenciling mat. I have mine from Waffle Flower as well. Or you can just work on a piece of paper and tape this down with your stencil. all kinds of ways that you can do it. But I'm telling you, my friend Sherry over at Paper Crafters Workshop told me that the grip mat was a game changer. I was skeptical, but in true Sherry fashion, she was absolutely right. It is a game changer. I love using this. So the grip mat is holding the collage die cut that I have. Ignore the stamps over here. We're not using them right now. Just want to show you. It's not falling off of the grip mat. It's stuck there. I'm going to take out the stencil, and I'm going to go ahead and start using the light inks. And she asked us to bring whichever inks were important for us, but gave us a palette that we were working within. So I'm just lining up my stencil on top of the die cut collage. And I'm going to just look at her color pattern again. She was great at coaching us as we did it. I'm going to use my brush starting with the light pink that I've got down here. I'll go into the yellow. When you pull it down, you get this nice orangey color. I'm going to go with the blue. When you pull that down, you get the nice greeny color there. So beautiful blending. Let's hope I can make that happen as well too. So going ahead and starting with my pink. And I think I went with innocent pink to start. Now, another tip she had about these great brushes was to use a microfiber cloth in between. I haven't got one with me handy, but I've got paper towel. So I'm just going to brush this off on my paper towel, making sure there's no remnant of color. And then I'm going to take my tiny little ink cube and I'm going to ink up my brush. See, lots and lots of ink that's there. I want to have a little tapping off. Just got a space to tap off. And all I'm going to do is very lightly with large round circles, just come in with this pink color. And I'm going across the bottom too with light strokes and nice big round brushes. Now the loft of the brushes, the bristles, the length of it helps them move so nice and smoothly. I'm going up into the middle too, just a little bit there. And one thing I really appreciated about the class yesterday, when you're taking a class in person, I do admit it's the social part that I love of being with friends. And Tammy and Mark, I can't wait to see you guys at our next event together as well too. But I absolutely adored the instructions that we were getting. She was wonderful at being able to come around and tell us, don't keep adding more and more ink. It just gets soaked up into your brush and comes up to the top here. And then your brush gets crusty when it dries. Don't do that. Little goes a long way. In fact, I'll remember forever a little instruction tip that she gave us that said, when you think you don't have any more ink, just keep going. You have more ink. So as you can tell, I'm not re-inking yet, but I do want to travel up into the middle section because that's where the blend is going to be. So I'm going up a little bit more there, and I think you can probably see on camera, it's a light pink, but it's a beautiful blend that's coming. All right. Now, she did caution this is not the brush for detail, and I get that. But I feel like this is the brush where I can go back in and get some more of that pink. And I'm just going to come in a little stronger on the bottom along here because I feel like I sort of started in the center and it feels like it needs a little more there. So that's what I'm doing, friends. And then again, I'm traveling up into that center section with the pink. All right, what do you think? Have we got what we need going on? I don't know. I'm a little bit of a more is more, but I'll tell you, I was sitting next to a wonderful woman named Tammy, and she had a much lighter hand than I did, and hers looked, well, mine looked gorgeous. Look, I'm happy with it. It's wonderful, but hers was a little prettier. So I'm going to try and be a little lighter as I do this today. Okay, so that's that one. Next in the color family, we're going to go with some yellow. So I've got yellow here. And again, I'm going to just go crazy with my brush. Wait, I can't show you that. Here you go. With my brush on the paper towel and put on my wish list of microfiber cloth that I have to remember to go get. Okay, much bigger format of ink pad. Way easier to get the ink onto my brush. Okay, tapping off a little bit there. Coming in and bringing in that yellow. Strong. Nice big circles. Okay, it's already looking beautiful, my friends. All right, nice big circles of this yellow. Keep going. And now I'm just starting to pull it down. So not only do I want the pink to go up into that middle section, but I want the yellow to come down into that pink section. That's how you get that beautiful blend. So I'm definitely coming down into the pink section with the brush. I'm telling you, I'm dying to just dab it back there, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try and stay light with this. Okay. Now, when we did the class yesterday, their theme was little postage stuff. It's got rainbows and hearts and a little birdie. And I fell in love with the little birdie. So I decided I'd go through my stash. Friends, when you shop your stash, you're doing yourself a favor. There are gems in there that have had little to no use if you're anything like me. And you can go get new joy from what you already have in your stash. So I went looking for some birds. I decided to make this one a friendship card, and I found some greenery that's going to go with that, and some hearts. Hearts are my fave. Okay, so now I've got the blend of the yellow, nice and light. I'm not dabbing back in the pink, and you can sort of start to see that peachy pinky color in the middle of the two layers. And what's coming up next is our blue. So I'm going to just wipe this off again. I can't believe I'm about to dab the same brush into blue, but I did this yesterday and it worked, folks. It really did. Okay, and I'm coming in with a blue called Sea Glass. I see Gina K use this one a lot in her, often her 5-minute videos. I feel like this one comes out, and 5-minute cards, I mean. And this is exciting because we're going in with some sea glass. Okay, here I go. Now, one thing that I will tell you is that I am not the world's best colorer. But the class yesterday gave me so much confidence to take tiny little pictures. You know, I often see people who do beautiful lawn fawn coloring in their little critters. Oh my gosh, they have the cutest. And so I feel intimidated because I just don't feel like I'm that good. But I realized the smaller it was, look how tiny this little bird is. Man, I had fun coloring it, and I thought, okay, I'm looking for a tiny bird, and that's what I found in my stash. You'll see in just a moment. Okay, so I've got the blue now. Just like I said, I wanted to pull the yellow up. I want to pull the blue down. So I'm going into the yellow with my brush, still not dabbing on more ink yet, though I'm desperate to. I'll tell you the truth, I'm desperate to. Okay, so I've got the gradient color, and I apparently touched it with a little bit of blue down here on a fingernail maybe or something. Ooh, it's the, ooh. Don't touch it. Just leave it alone. We'll cover it up with something. Okay. Blue into yellow. And if we remember our color mixing theory, that makes a little bit of green haze happening here. Okay. Are you feeling like you got it? Okay, I think you've got it. Let me move that aside. Let me move these inks aside. And I'm going to come in with the stencil reveal. All right, here we go. Really, the grip mat is doing its job. It's gripped. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm taking the stencil off. Okay, you guys, I'm telling you, it's already a beautiful card. Whee! You can get incredible results with just a few wonderful techniques. And that's why I always encourage you, get to a store near you, take the classes that they offer. There is so much to learn and love. Okay, next thing we're going to do is the stamp. So you need to have, you don't need to have, I want to have the stamp set up over here. Remember, on this side. And I'm taking the stamp. I'm going to use black ink to get that on there. It's already positioned where I want. Let's just double check again. Yeah, everything looks good with that. So I'm going to ink up my stamps. All right. I'm going to come in and just lightly press that down. Now this ink takes longer to dry. So I'm going to give it another extra second to transfer as I just give it a little stamp CPR. And then when I open it, we'll see it looks beautiful. You know what? I'm going to close it again and just come over this little stamp up here. Yeah, and give it a bit extra. It can use just a tiniest bit of ink. I don't need ink on everything else. It all looks good. There we go. Oh yeah, that is what we're talking about. So we're going to not touch anything here. I'm just going to move this aside, let it get a few extra minutes for drying, and we're going to switch over to our sample down here, to our coloring. So taking this little scrap piece of paper here, and I'm going to pull out some of these little birds I told you about. Look at these guys. Look at how cute they are. They're so cute. Now, as I look at them, I think maybe these are bluebirds, maybe these are robins. I don't know. but I love them. So there are three different facing little birds. That's what I want to do on my card. I'm going to start with blues. I'm pulling out my Copics, and for those of you who are following along, go ahead. This is, I like to call this one the boo. The first blue is B00, and then I'm using B12 for the ice blue as well too. So I'm starting with my fine tip here. All the professionals like to stand their little lid up so you can see it. And I'm just going to come in and lay down all this nice ice blue color. Now, when I stamped this earlier, I stamped it with a ink that is excellent to work with Copic markers so that I didn't have any running of the ink that's beside there. So I'm just starting with that little bit of blue on everybody. Now, the better colorers among us can feel free to do all sorts of shading and color layering. We're going to go with the very novice version today. And the very novice version is to lay down the light color first, and then I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the dark color. Now, I put mine on a little piece of paper when it's tiny like this, because then I can move the whole piece of paper around as I'm moving the little items around. Okay. And I just have to tell you, I can't hear any birds singing right now because the windows are closed because it's the middle of winter, but there are beautiful, huge, fluffy snowflakes just falling gracefully out here in our little forest. And it feels so peace-filled that it makes me want to pause and to just remind you that when you give yourself permission to create, you are tapping into that wellness that's available to you, because creativity is good for our brains and our bodies and our social lives, all the things. Okay, so now I'm going in with that B12. Where's my professional little, hold that over there. And I'm just going to go on the top wing this time. That's the tail. And then on the top here, I'm going to go ahead and just put a little of this nice blue in there. And along the top of the head, the bird has a little crest. As I'm doing this, I'm thinking about all the lovely birds I enjoy seeing at our bird feeders. We're big hummingbird fans, so our hummingbirds go as soon as we think they are coming to our region, and they stay up just late enough before they have to chase down to warmer climates from our cold climate here. Okay, one last birdie to do in the blue crest. I know there's a lot of great colorers that do great videos, and they just turn music on in the background for you, and you can just watch them, and it's zen, it's relaxing. Okay, so I've got the blue in there. I'm coming back in with the first blue that I used, which I call boo, but it's B00, and I'm going back over the dark only. So the light belly is just going to stay the original one coat, but then blending out and just giving a little bit more depth to the wing and the tail with the B12 that I used. Now you can stamp these, color them, and then cut them out, but I did it this way. All right, so there's some little birdies that we have. So I'm just going to... Okay, bringing the sample card in close. I'm going to go back to my MISTI where the postage collage has been resting. Put that in my cleanup corner over here. And what I've decided to do, so I'm going to do, instead of a book fold like this, which is a beautiful card that I love, I'm going to do a top folding card, which is like this. I'm going to use a black mat. In the class, they used a teal that is so gorgeous. Maybe aqua is a better color for that, that matched with some of their pieces. But again, shopping your stash may mean making up some of your own rules of what you like to do. So I'm going to use the black mat that I have because I feel like the black stamps are going to just look extra good with that. And as well, I did more of the stamping the little guys with the black outline. So I felt like there was going to be some nice cohesion there. Now, the reality is that we get to decide what is going where. And I don't have a formal design in my mind. I played with the pieces before putting the camera on just quickly. But I figure, you know what, we'll make it up as we go along. The one piece that I feel is going to make sense. So this sentiment, you're a great friend. I feel like it can go right over here and probably be popped up. Actually, let's try it in a couple different places and see. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick to the original. See, we've got our example here, and mine's a little bit bigger, but I think I'm going to do that. So we'll see about popping that up there. Now, these little pieces I cut out are just darling. Look at this gorgeous heart. I've got a couple branches. I'm going to play with some of those. I think we'll do maybe these two hearts here, and then another branch. Might make the branch come down this way. So you see what I'm doing is just really trying to figure out what's going to go where, how's it going to look, how do I feel about these things as I lay them down? Does it feel like it's the right spot? If not, you can move it. You're allowed to design and make up exactly as you like it. Okay, and I do a couple little hearts down there. All right, that's feeling good. And then what I want to do, I think we'll do sort of behind here, we'll do some of these greens. That might work. And then these little birds, I kind of want them to talk to each other. So imagine this guy. He's pointing and looking up this way. I'm going to put this guy maybe up in here. Maybe we need some flowers to go with these hearts down here. And I'm changing my mind. I like this guy. I'm going to change them all around. So this guy, now it's pretty cute if they're talking to each other like that, but let's go ahead and place these guys over here. Move this guy down so I can still see that little stamp says hugs inside. Okay, so even though they're all sort of flying all around here, let's see. We might make something like that work there as well too. Sometimes less is more. We might move those hearts out in front. Okay, so I've got a general idea. So you see, they built something out that was a scheme that we followed that was gorgeous. And I am so happy with this card. I might have a tough time giving it away. I have thought about sending it to my mom, who I think would really appreciate it, but I might not. So I have this one here. Now I'm taking mine and the inspiration that they gave us in the class, and I'm going to build it out in a similar fashion. So let's go ahead and get some gluing done. And for that, you know, I need one of the workhorses in my studio, the My Sweet Petunia glue press, of course. Okay, so I have adhered all the wonderful little bits that we did for this card onto the postage collage. Now for the finishing touches. So remember, they did a book fold with a teal background. I'm just changing that up a little bit to a top folding card, and I always like to check. Good thing we checked. Okay, so there's a top folding card. I'm going to put this here. Now, I like the idea of raising up this whole panel. The size of foam that I use behind the little birdies is quite high. So I don't think I need to put any more kind of lift onto the card. So what I'm going to do is I'm a bit of an over adherer. If this is your first time coming here, you might not have seen this before, but I like to put a little bit of tape and a little bit of glue just to give me the exact way, because after you have gone through all this work, my friends, I'm telling you, you want to make sure nothing comes apart. So a little bit of double-sided tape, a little bit of my liquid glue, and we are just about there. Oops. With the black matte background. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Let's get that placed correctly. All right, so we've got that there. And now we want to put, same idea I do on the back of these, a little bit of the tape and a little bit of the glue. I don't use the glue when I'm doing the foam tape because I just find that that adhesive is so strong already. This has more flexibility in it, and so I want to make sure I've got the right stuff going. So there's my opening card. Just get that all lined up here in front of me. Give myself a nice little margin all the way around. And friends, take a look at these. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to be able to share this with you. Let me just show you what it looks like here. So this is what I did this is what I did in class at Two Scrapbooking Friends, and it was wonderful. Such fun, such great detail in the setup so that we were able to get in there and in 90 minutes just take a wonderful class. I highly recommend you visit the store if you haven't already. There is not a schedule of these coming up, so you got to just grab them when they do. And this is my take now that I'm home in my own studio, having shopped my stash and bringing a couple new things from Waffle Flower from the store to it. I hope you like this as much as I do, friends. Thank you so much for taking some time to be with me in my studio today, following a new creation from a just learned creation. Friends, remember, you have permission to create, and if nobody else has given it to you, I will. Thanks for joining me in my studio. We'll see you again really soon. It's such a joy to go and take a class and be able to come home and right away apply what you learned and turn it into something entirely wonderful. I'm so glad that you joined me today. Friends, you know what? I put these videos up every Thursday and I live stream every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'd love for you to join us. Thanks again for watching. Here's a video you can try next time, and as well, please subscribe. I look forward to sharing my journey with you all the way.